Hello, I'm Michael Marsh. Welcome to the program dedicated to reestablishing our constitutional republic, both here in Oregon and in the United States. Now, the constitutional republic is still on the books, but we've allowed the people who supposedly represent us to chip away. So that's what this program is about, is to inform you about what you can do and, who's on our side, who's not, what bills are coming down the road that are good and which ones are bad. And that brings us to today's guest, which is who is Michael Cross, and he leads an organization called Oregon First. Michael, tell us about Oregon First. What are you about?
Well, it's great to be here, Michael. Known you a long, long time,
Yeah,
so that's great.
It's been a while.
Oregon First is really a simple precept with some fairly basic goals and ideologies that most of us, regardless of party, political party in Oregon, can jump on board with. And basically, what do people want? They want safety, they want to be able to raise a family, things like that. So we came up with the committee, myself and the committee at Oregon First Political Action Committee, came up with a basic goal of, clean air, clean water, safe food, safe streets, reasonable taxes, and just to be able to raise a family safely in Oregon, and by and large, for the most part, not have the government be interfering in our daily lives. Because let's face it, both political parties have let us down. And what we've been doing obviously hasn't worked. We've been electing people to office. They go down to the marble nut house, and this is the mess that we're in now. So obviously, what's been working, or what people have been doing, has not been working. So we need to come up with something new, and that's why we came up with Oregon First Political Action Committee. So our very first agenda is to recall Governor Kate Brown. So we created a website, flushdownkatebrown.com, and we're asking everyone to go on to flushdownkatebrown.com, click the pink circle, and enroll. And that gives you, updates on what's going on with the movement and in Oregon. And then have 3 to 10 of your friends do the same thing. Go to flushdownkatebrown.com, click the pink circle, and enroll. We have county captains in every county in Oregon. We've got about 8,000 people plugged in, on board, and ready to go to work for this all, major importance of saving Oregon. Really, it's pretty simple. And we have this opportunity. If everybody doesn't do something now, then I'm afraid we're just going to lose Oregon forever. It's going to just, I don't even want to think about it, honestly.
Yeah, we were thinking about that a long time ago, and it's gotten worse.
Yes, we were.
It's gotten much worse.
So we just served on Governor Brown today this document, and it's a press release for immediate release. We the People of Oregon versus Kate Brown acting as governor. Now, what I'm going to read is shocking, but it's true. And anybody can go down. These are all publicly available documents through the campaign and expenditure reports. We've done the legwork. That's what Oregon First does. Because many people over in Eastern Oregon, rightfully so, complain they don't have a voice. I agree, they don't have a voice. So that's why Oregon First was created, because all voices in Oregon, no matter whether you're in Portland or Powder, Oregon, or Bonanza, Oregon, or wherever, small town, you have a voice with Oregon First Political Action Committee. So this basically is an indictment and offer to resign her position as governor of Oregon. So it goes, Kate Brown, you have committed and are engaging in pay to play, wherein you are accepting donations in the form of political campaign funds in exchange for preferential treatment, exorbitant state contracts for software. We remember the debacle with the software,
Oh, yeah.
research, and others. They spent millions of dollars and it still doesn't work. Who got that money? So we have the answer to that, and it's time that everybody started asking these questions. You have curried favor with a few select contractors and have given them access to our foster children for the purposes of exploiting them, using them as a revenue stream for Big Pharma, administering unnecessary, quote, treatment at foreign facilities. And the abuse going on at these facilities is appalling. I mean, in Idaho, they sent 11 of our kids there, foster kids. 8 of them they lost. They don't know what happened to them. Now, they go into these rooms, and there's blood on the walls. There's clearly evidence of abuse and violence. You know, I don't even like talking about it. It's so bad. Additionally, she is engaging in medical experimentation using foster children as test subjects for research in exchange for monetary compensation to her directly or to companies that she owns directly or indirectly. We're finding out some very interesting connections with big corporations and Kate Brown.
Oh,
Research into her donor list has revealed that she's engaging in pay to play. Well, that sounds familiar. She's involved with many of the key financial people that Hillary Clinton was involved with on the her quote non-profit, with a multitude of companies involving medical equipment, medical research on unwilling patients, involving our society's most vulnerable. She has violated 18 U.S.C. Chapter 77 and is engaged in multi-state human trafficking for profit under the guise of medical treatment. It's our intent to assist state and federal law enforcement in their investigation that through a complicated scheme involving some of your closest allies and donors, she's engaging in racketeering, violation of the RICO Act, human trafficking, unauthorized medical testing on children, money laundering, and pay-to-play schemes for commercial profit. Her co-conspirators are in the following industries, and this is shocking, a lot of the viewers may not realize. Oil and petroleum products. You know, she comes across as this environmentalist, but she's tied in with big oil. Plastics, medical equipment, stem cell research, genetics, the manufacturing of human organs for profit, and others. She has and continues to violate her oath of office in so many nefarious ways. So we gave her until the close of business on June the 15th of 2019 to tender her resignation as governor to Bev Clarno, Oregon Secretary of State. And if she fails to do that, we're going to turn over our evidence to Ellen Rosenblum, Oregon State Attorney General, and William Barr, U.S. State Attorney General's office. And it's signed, We the People of Oregon. Because, you know, these big corporations are trying to basically steamroll your vote and take control of Oregon. Well, that hasn't been working out very well for us, has it, Mike?
no. I can guarantee you Rosenblum isn't going to do anything. She's part of that.
Well, but we have to give her a copy of it, too.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So, I'm not really sure. Well, the feds could get involved, but even though it's
well, they're getting involved in a lot of other states.
Good.
So, you know, we've got county captains in every county, and we've got about 8,000 people on board. We're going to be filing the recall on June the 15th. That's Friday. So I don't know when this is going to be airing, but
Probably next week sometime. Probably.
so by the time you're seeing this, you know, the recall will be active and online.
Yeah.
So I would just encourage everybody to go flushdownkatebrown.com and get a copy of the petition. You can download it and print it and everything like that. And we need everyone's help because this is a time for everyone to get together and save Oregon. I mean, it really is, it's that serious. I wish it wasn't the case, but, you know, sitting on our couches and casting a vote obviously isn't enough. We need to step up our game. We need to do more. And, I mean, it's really pretty clear. If you want to be in a free society, a republic, we're organized as a republic, not a democracy, then you need to be involved. If you don't want to make decisions and you don't want to be involved, then basically you're a slave. And that's not working out very well for Venezuela.
No.
I mean, so we have a choice. We can live freely, but you need to be willing to protect those freedoms. Go to the ballot box, have your voice be heard, and make a difference. Because if you're not making a difference, then the corporations with their big money are trying to steamroll us. But the last governor's election was very interesting because they spent record numbers.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
both sides.
yeah, what,
Democrat
$18 million?
Yeah.
Something like that, this huge money.
Yeah.
And yet there's no change occurred, no change.
Yeah.
So that basically proved one thing. They can spend all the money they want, and they're not going to buy the vote. They didn't have We the People. So Oregon First has We the People. So anybody that comes on board with We the People, I guarantee you're going to have a voice. And that's the whole point of Oregon First Political Action Committee. We don't need a lot of money. We know how to do things and shave $1 and save money. Many of the businesses involved are contributing, what they call in-kind contributions. So they're donating signs, or they're donating printing, or they're donating a multitude of services and stuff like that. And it's wonderful. Everybody's coming together. But we need every person in Oregon to get involved.
Yeah, you mentioned 8,000. You should have a minimum of 25,000 if you're going to recall the governor.
Well, it's never been done this way before.
But at least you got that 8,000 to
Right.
start off with.
Right, but the main thing is like on the Facebook, Flush Down Kate Brown. We also have a Facebook page group, and hashtag Investigate Kate is another Facebook group. And the important thing is that we have the concentration scattered throughout the state, every county. So that's the major difference, because a lot of times, this is the first time a recall has been done this way. So we've actually been working on it for since March, so about 4 months. And so we've laid the groundwork, and it's amazing what we've been able to do with the small amount of dollars that we've raised so far. It's really pretty amazing, miraculous, really. And that's the key to a successful recall, is the groundwork that's already been laid. Because in the past, you only have 90 days to get a whole bunch of signatures. And I mean, it figures out to 4,500 signatures a day for 90 days, 7 days a week. That's a lot. We estimate 400,000 signatures total, because there's a bunch that aren't valid for whatever reason. So, this is the first, and it will be successful because the support is out there. But it counts on you, the viewer, stepping up and making a difference. We can't do this without Oregonians. If they're like, oh, I'm okay with the way things have been going. Things are okay. Even though taxes are so high, she took the kicker tax refund. They're doing all this crazy stuff in the schools. The schools are wasting the money. All this nonsense going on. Then do nothing, and you'll just get more of the same. But if people want to change, then they have to step up and do something. That's why we created Oregon First Political Action Committee.
Okay. Now, you're going to try to get rid of a governor, Kate Brown. Are there, in the 2020 election coming up, are there candidates that you're planning to support, or are you going to wait until things shake out a little more?
Well, that's a good question. Right now we're focused on the recall.
Yeah.
And we're going to be focused on the recall, so July, August, September, mid-September, we'll be done with the recall. But we would like to hear from people if they're interested in running. We're particularly interested in people that have not run at all, ever, or not involved in politics. Just your average person that says, hey, you know what? They raise their hand up and they say, I want to make a difference. And we require, because if they want to be a part of Oregon First, we require that they take an oath of office. It's just a basic oath. I agree to uphold and defend the Constitution, from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Pretty basic, straightforward thing that your military people take.
Yeah, the same one I took when I was when I went into the Army.
That's right. So we just want to make sure that everybody thinks that the Constitution is the greatest document in the world, which I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think it was led by divine intervention in its creation, which is wonderful. And we would like to hear from people if they want to run for office, and we'll meet with them and help them. I mean, if we think that they'll do a good job, and it's got to come from the heart. You know, it's got to be a genuine, I want to make a change, and we can help them get there.
Well, that's good. Are there any bills that that are coming down the pike that people should know about that should be opposed?
Well, of course, Bill 2020, the cap and trade one, that's terrible. And I didn't memorize the other bill numbers, but they're trying to get rid of the $50 tax credit. I don't know if you heard about that. And I guess it's due to expire on 2020. That's where an individual person can give $50 to Oregon First, and they actually get it back dollar per dollar. So it ends up costing them nothing. It's a tax credit, not a deduction. So it's a pretty good deal. And that is set to expire in 2020 unless they renew it. So I hope that gets renewed. And then the other one they wanted to do was to get rid of the electronic in this information digital age, and they wanted to, for some reason, get rid of the electronic petition. So if you want a copy of the petition, you can't download it and print it out and circulate it. They're trying to make it hard to get rid of, our voice is what they're trying to do. So, I wish I didn't think about it. I don't have the bill numbers, but lots of stuff. I mean, people need to be aware of, because if you're not aware of your right, then if they take it away, you didn't realize you lost anything. So it's really a terrible deal.
Now, I noticed there's you mentioned 2020, which is a cap and trade thing. I noticed they also passed, and Kate Brown signed a gross receipts tax on businesses. And there's going to be a referendum on that. Are you helping with that, or is that?
We are helping with that. Yep. Yeah, we're going to be circulating that petition along with the Flush Down Kate Brown petition. Yeah, we want to help those guys all we can. And that's the other thing. That's the other reason why Oregon is in the mess it's in, is because you've got all these different organizations, each going out doing their own thing, not collaborating and working together. And that hasn't been working out very well, obviously. No. So we need to all get together. And there is talk about a bunch of different groups getting together and coming together. Each group still retains its own individuality, but come together on select causes like, hey, guys, this is something, guys and gals, we need to pay attention on, we need to get together on, and we need to help on. And I think that's great. I mean, we are seeing some really good things happen in Oregon, and I'm optimistic for Oregon, actually. But again, it's going to take you, the viewer, to do something about it. We can't do it all, can we, Mike?
No, already done.
Yeah, we were talking about this back in the early '90s.
Yes, we were. Yeah, and it's worse now than it was then.
Way worse.
Yeah. You mentioned the cap and trade. I'm sure my viewers all have a vague idea. What does this particular law do?
Well, I'm not the expert on 2020. I've been honestly putting every waking hour into flushing down Kate Brown. Oregon's got a heck of a plumbing problem, and we're trying to fix it here. But I just honestly I try not going down to the Capitol. I just go down there when I have to, because I'd rather be talking to the people.
Yeah.
And it is terrible what's going on down there. So I go down there when I have to, but I haven't been paying attention to every little bill and where is it at and this and that, because I'm basically not playing that game anymore. That game doesn't work.
No.
So I just know that most of what's going on in there is bad. It's like if you open your cupboard underneath the sink and you see a jug of Drano, you don't have to read the ingredients to know that Drano is bad for you to drink.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. So I can't tell you what's in Drano, and I can't tell you what's in 2020 either. I just know it's bad.
Yeah. Okay, now, this 8,000 foundation people.
Right.
Have they all agreed to, like, collect signatures and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So they are dedicated, they're not just...
They're not just, what's the word, keyboard warriors?
Yeah, say, yeah, we support you, and...
I'm here for you all the way.
Yeah.
You know, because I always ask the question. You know, we're asking for, you know, really just a few things.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, especially on the Facebook group, because a lot of people just like to waste time on Facebook. But it's like we ask for, you know, what they can give now, $20, $30, $50, $100, $1,000, whatever they can reasonably give, and then $5 or $10 a month after that. And then they can click the box and have it be a monthly recurring kind of a thing. And, you know, that's one of the questions I ask is, have you gone to the website, flushdowncapebrown.com, and clicked the pink circle and enrolled? And if they say, well, no, well, that's the first thing you have to do. I mean, the rest of it really is not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen sitting around there and arguing on Facebook or whatever, posting neat stuff on Facebook. That's okay to a point, but then you need to, you know, the rubber meets the road. You need to, you know, get off the pot or do your business. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Well, I remember the late Pamela Gassett and I were working on some projects, and she had 1 million followers. But,
literally 1 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why they murdered her. The state murdered her. But
Oh my gosh.
when it came time to, you know, actually get petitioned and signed and everything, you know, we're pretty much by ourselves.
Well, thankfully, there is enough.
That was Kit Sauber.
Yeah, thankfully, there's enough, I don't know, anger or displeasure with Kate Brown and what she's doing to Oregon that people are motivated. You know, I mean, it's really great, the response. It's phenomenal, actually. So, we're very excited about that. And like they said, when our founding fathers created this country, you know, a lady asked, well, what have you created? Well, we created a republic if you can keep it. But
Yeah.
that's what we have is a republic.
Oh, yeah.
Because a democracy would be like 3 wolves sitting around talking about what they're going to have for dinner, and the goat's sitting there, and they're going to vote for the goat, and the goat's like, not me. Well, 3-1, I guess the goat's going to get eaten for dinner. Well, that's not a republic form of government. You know, so a democracy is really not a good way to go. The republic is the best way to go.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, there any more issues you want to bring up?
Well, you know, there are certain powers that be that would like to remove our borders and have a one world government.
Yeah.
Part of that is that we not be armed. We are the last country that has arms in the hands of the populace. Australia gave up theirs some years ago. Canada gave up theirs some decades ago. And we're the last domino.
Yeah.
So it's up to us. They come up with a myriad of reasons of why the citizens should not have firearms. Well, none of it makes any sense. You have more people that die from knife wounds and from car accidents. I think they should illegalize cars.
Well, obviously, if saving lives is what it's all about.
I mean, if you have a drunk driver, and that just happened recently, here illegally murdered 3 girls.
Was he an illegal alien?
And he was illegal.
Yeah.
Terrible. But we need to stop that. And they should not have driver's licenses. They don't know how to drive. I mean, and so the fact of the matter is that because of that, do you make cars illegal? No. I mean, you can't, because you have somebody being irresponsible doesn't make make it illegal for everybody.
Yeah.
Guns are an important tool for our freedoms.
One of the things that kind of, bothered me also is, they're making a big push against opiates, and opiates are misused.
Yeah.
But there's also a legitimate medical reason for them. And I'm concerned that they're going to go too far the wrong way, and hurt the people that actually need them. With all the
Well, they're pretty highly addictive, though.
yeah,
There is that, but I mean, that's the scary part about it. And they're finding out that, some of that was engineered to purposely,
yeah,
what's the word, make it so that people can't function. Because if they're not informed about stuff, if they can't function for whatever reason, then they're not giving the government any grief, and that's not good for we the people.
no. Okay, so I live in Marion County, and so do you. How many people in Marion County are involved in your organization?
Exact numbers,
Approximate.
I don't have an exact count, but I think it's around 200 in Marion County.
Okay.
I don't keep up on the database. I just mainly oversee everything and kind of steer the ship.
What I'm wondering is, are these 200 people willing to go and help with the campaign, like in the next election cycle?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely they are. I mean, we take this very seriously. I mean, so far, we have county captains in each county, and I've had to let go 2 county captains for not doing their job. So, I mean, it's not like your average volunteer thing, so-and-so volunteer, we hope they show up. No, this is a very organized effort, and if somebody doesn't come and follow through with what they know needs to be done, then we have to let them go, because we as an organization can't be relying on somebody that's going to end up, for whatever reason, flaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when stuff starts to fall apart, and Oregon means too much to me to allow that to happen. So we're very particular about that, but we do still have county captain positions available in most of the counties, and we encourage people to step forward and take that role if they want to help. And really, they can be homebound. They can be making phone calls. They can be doing data entry. I mean, if they can't get out. So there's something to do for everybody. If they want to help, then we'll get them involved. And that's the great thing about Oregon First.
Yeah, that's good, because, I can think of 3 representatives here in Oregon that I wouldn't see being replaced.
You would?
I wouldn't mind if they were replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, including my own.
Yeah. Well, then what I would suggest is in those districts, let us know who you think would be a good person to replace them with. Because if we're just sitting around complaining, then we're not solving the problem. So
that's why I asked if they were willing to.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's okay to talk about a problem, but then you have to come up with a solution too, or we're just griping and not solving anything.
Yeah, and actually go out and do something.
Exactly.
Okay, our time's up. Thanks for coming.
Very nice
on.
talking with you, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks.